All right. Hey, welcome in. Appreciate y'all joining us. Get started in about 1 minute with the masterclass. So, from chaos to clarity, crafting a vision that leads. So, I hope you got pen and pad. I will challenge you to write a few things down as we go through the masterclass, because this isn't theory. This is kind of a roll our sleeves up and get some work done so you have something that's actionable when you leave here. So, hey, if you are joining us, and I'll say this again, if you've been with us before, you know what I'm about to say. Hey, we start every meeting with one of our core values at Business on Purpose, with big wins. The acronym BIG, not talking about the rapper, it actually stands for begin in gratitude. So throw a big win, which simply means something you're grateful for, in the chat. Okay, it can be life, it can be work. I'm grateful. My big win, I'm not going to put it in the chat, but my big win, my wife's been gone for 9 days. She took kids to camp in Vancouver, Canada, and she's back. And so I'm just grateful simply to have the gang all back together again. So throw a big win in the chat and we will get started here shortly. We've got our director. She will not show her face today, but we've got a director of client connections, Jessie Barber, on the call. She's going to help us out with the slides and some information that we'll give y'all at the end. So welcome in. Also would love to know where you're zooming in from. So throw that in the chat. It's pretty quiet in there right now. Benny, I see you on here. I know you've got a big win, so put it in the chat. Welcome. All right, Savannah, Georgia, just down the road. Just down the road. We are located in Bluffton, South Carolina, right by Hilton Head. Bellflower. It's early in California, Gabe. Early riser. Charlotte, Matt, I spent 4 years up in Concord, North Carolina. Had a midlife crisis at 35 and went on a nonprofit. Worked for Young Life for 4 years. So had a great time. Texas Gulf Coast, Austin, hook 'em horns. Welcome to the call. So Dallas, Texas, we got some Texas folks. All right. Yeah. So, Young Life. Yeah. My wife, she was in Vancouver. Young Life has a camp. It's on an island outside of Vancouver. So she was up there for 9 days, which was awesome. Got your first build in Oldfield, Benny. That's awesome. That's a beautiful community. Looking forward to seeing the end product there. All right. Hey, let's see what time we've got. I've got 11:03. So I'm going to honor y'all's time. We're going to jump in. Have a pen and pad handy because I'll challenge you to write some things down. Thanks for jumping in on the chat. We're going to get rolling. My name is Brent Whitaker. I've got the honor of guiding us through a step-by-step process where you can actually write your vision story that leads your life and your business with clarity, because we say clarity is kindness. It's kindness to you. It's kindness to your family, your team, and those that you serve, your clients. So, hey, my crew, not pictured, is our black lab, Ollie Mae, and our two wildly independent cats, outdoor cats, because daddy's allergic, Bunny and Fluffernutter. You heard me right. They were affectionately named by our daughter. So that's my wife. We are actually celebrating our 11-year anniversary next week. We'll be flying the friendly skies, God willing. So, hey, I'm going to be a coach here. Before we jump in, 2 quick things. Pings, dings, rings. Hey, let's silence those things. Bonhoeffer says time is irrevocable. We can't get it back. So I'm just going to challenge you. I'm going to encourage you to be here. At the end of this course, we'll offer a way to go deeper if you need more support. No pressure, just clarity. So hang tight towards the end, and I'll give you some information that you can take with you and actually implement some things that we talk about today. So, hey, bottom line, what I'm going to give you today, I said it earlier, fully actionable, no fluff, no holding back. By the end, you'll have everything that you need to write a compelling, actionable vision story, whether you work with us or not. So, hey, I'm stoked. Let's dive in. What you will learn in this masterclass today: why vision must come first before building anything worth doing, why vision isn't a modern concept, and why that matters. A simple 7-part framework to write your vision story, and a clear challenge to implement what we create today. I'll get you 85% of the way there. The last 15%, well, that will be on you. So, hey, let's jump into it. The power of vision. A lot of quotes here. Great time to write some things down. Andy Stanley, a phenomenal leader, says it takes 21 times of sharing your vision before people actually hear it. Andy Stanley says it takes 21 times of sharing your vision before people actually hear it. You get it. Repetition is going to be key for you to articulate the vision where people actually hear it. One of my favorite quotes: the clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decisions. We have so many decisions to make today. It leads to decision fatigue. It's a real thing. You feel the stress. Well, the more decisions you have to make, the more stress you have in your life. And I don't think any American needs more stress in their life right now. So the clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decision. Ancient wisdom, thousands of years, says, hey, write the vision down so those who read it may run. They can either run towards your vision or away from your vision. And both are great because you want that clarity. You want to know who's with you and who is not. The earlier, the better. Solomon, widely considered one of the wisest humans in history, wrote, hey, where there is no vision, people scatter. People want clarity. Vision is not trendy. It's timeless. And when it's absent, it does lead to chaos. Your goals today are simple. Write a detailed snapshot of your vision story across 7 essential categories that give you and your team clarity. Number 2, take action now. We're going to start writing your vision before this call ends. Let me tell you a story, real story, not his real name. Jason, he owned a $2 million contracting company in the Southeast. He was working, and this will resonate, 65 hours a week, sometimes 70, barely saw his sons before bedtime. Barely saw his sons before bedtime. I want us to hear that. And he and his wife, well, their marriage was stretched thin. Despite what others saw, right, from the outside looking in, was success, Jason felt enslaved to his business. Vacations were interrupted. Weekends were hijacked by problems. Joy was rare. Jason was physically, emotionally, relationally. He was exhausted. He was tired. And something had to change. And they asked this simple but powerful question, and I'm posing it to us today. Just asked my wife this 6 months ago as we were rewriting our vision story. What do we want? So Jason asked his wife, what do we want? Simple question. Take time to ponder that. So then Jason, he made the investment, mostly of time because it cost you time. And he began working with us. And that began a shift. And it started, he wrote out his vision story that you're going to get an opportunity to do today. And then he implemented it, just as powerful. You got to write it down. You got to articulate it. You got to share it, and you got to implement it. Well, today, Jason's life looks and feels differently. He works 32, 35 hours a week. He does get home when his sons get off the bus, because that time is fleeting. They'll be driving. They'll be out of the house before you know it. His marriage has never been stronger. His team is aligned. Yeah, alignment, right, with your team. And his business has grown 71%, real number, since he wrote that first vision story. And it started by writing it down. He started it by writing it down and prefaced that by asking that simple but powerful question: what do we want? You get to define what you want. Because if you don't define what you want, the latest and loudest voice will determine that for you. So now it's your turn. I told you, hey, we're not going to hold anything back. Here we go. All right. This is what we do. This is the template that Jason used that led from chaos to clarity. The tactics, 7 parts to your vision story. The method is simple, is frictionless, and field tested through thousands of hours of coaching. Vision, what is vision? It is simply a detailed snapshot of the future of your business. So let's get practical. There's 7 categories, right? It's not a statement, it's a story. Here we go. Time frame. How far in the future are you looking out? 6 months, 3 years, 5 years. What I would advise, what I'd coach you on, is don't go too far out. Anything over 5 years becomes fuzzy. Under 6 months, well, that's not strategy. That's strategy. It's not vision. And so we say the sweet spot, and we'll get to that. I'm not going to tell you just yet. So choose a specific date, make it real. Example, January 31st, 2027. Ask yourself this question: when can I see a detailed snapshot of the future of my business? How far out is that? Write that date down. Here's what I have my clients do. How old will you be? How old will your spouse be? What age will your kids be based off that date that you write down? How many years will you have been in business? Those things make it real, make it that you stimulate something viscerally. Okay. 36 months or less is typically the sweet spot. So that's part one. Part two is family and freedom. This isn't a either or. Is it business or is it life? Well, life and work necessarily intersect, so it's both and. Yes, it is both. What do you want for your family by the date that you chose, that you wrote down? And I hope you're writing this stuff down. What kind of freedom do you want in your business? What kind of freedom do you want in your life? What are some rhythms that you want to create? Because if you don't write it down and you don't put it on your calendar, it gets pushed to the side. It gets marginalized. So get specific. Hey, I want to go on a weekly date with my spouse. People do it. It happens. Lee and I do it. We didn't used to until we wrote it down and made it a priority. Travel to one national park per quarter. What are the rhythms that you want? Walks after dinner, the family freedom part. Bring your family into this. They get to decide. And then we're going to move on down. You'll see on the template, financials. Let's talk numbers. Like Jerry Maguire, show me the money. All right, let's talk about it. Profit, revenue, expenses, profit after expenses and owner's salary. What's the thank you for taking the risk and bearing the burden of being a business owner? Because it's not easy. It's not that your business is hard and our business is hard. Business is simply hard. So profit is a thank you for taking the risk. Revenue. What's your total revenue you're looking for? Use your profit percentage to work backward. All right. Expenses. What are your operating expenses? This is what it takes to actually run the business. From there, we're going to move into step 4, products and services. What are you selling? What's your product? What is it that you maybe want to stop selling? What hasn't been profitable in the past that maybe needs not to be in your product and services section? Make a list of current offerings and future ones you want to explore, and then tie this to your financial goals. Moving on down the line of the 7-step process is personnel. Roles, not names. Think about the seats on the bus that the business needs in order to accomplish the vision by said date that you wrote down earlier. Role first. Think of the roles. People agnostic. That's kind of a weird term, but don't think in terms of faces. Think in terms of seats on the bus. And then write that down. Do you need a bookkeeper, an ops manager? Do you need to look into having a virtual assistant? We've had one for over 5 years. He's part of the BOP family. We love Kevin, and he has been instrumental in the growth and the movement towards our vision and living out our mission. And I negated to say that earlier. We exist to liberate you from chaos, to make time for what matters most. That's why we're here, and that's why we're doing this today. And then number 6, your client type. Not all clients are a fit. Hey, if you're selling dentures, you probably don't want to market to the just graduated from college crowd. They're probably not your ideal client profile. So look at your best customers. What do they have in common? Where do they shop? Where can you get in front of them? And also write down, this is powerful. Sometimes I start this way with my folks. Who do you not want to work with? Because I guarantee you everybody on here is say, hey, who is a client? And if you think of that person, you can see their face, just kind of the image burned into your brain. Who do you not want to work with? Write those things down and then identify your ideal client type. This helps your team also recognize early misalignment with people. 7, culture. Don't let me lose you here. Culture, it's a buzzword, okay? Culture was not that important for my Papa Earl when he worked in the mill in Liberty, South Carolina. It was working hard and getting a paycheck. We've got 4 generations working side by side right now. It's the first time in history. Culture is huge in regards to attracting good talent and keeping good talent. But a lot of people think culture is, y'all remember that movie with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson? I cannot remember the movie for the life of me, where they go to Google and it's just like a big carnival. That's not culture. Culture is not your ping pong table, bring your hamster to work, espresso machine in the break room type stuff. Culture is what people see and feel and say when they walk into your world. It's not, I've heard it said, it's not what's on the wall, it's what walks down the hall. Ask yourself this question. This is a good one to write down. What do I want clients? What do I want my team or partners to say about us? How do you want them to feel working for you and with you? Chick-fil-A does a phenomenal job of this. What do you want them to feel? Write those things down. Here's the deal. Culture is going to grow regardless. Best to cultivate the one you want than end up with something that you were not intentional about, and then you have to fix it. Because culture is going to keep good people and attract good people. Hey, not super complicated, right? Simple but powerful. The final piece, if you've been with us, you know where I'm going, is implementation. Ideas don't change businesses. Ideas don't change laws. It's implemented ideas that do. We quote this all the time, Joe Calloway: vision without implementation, simply hallucination. Vision without implementation is hallucination. We used to give our templates away and we would follow up, and lo and behold, every time, 90% of the time, when I followed up after we'd given our templates away, we were deflated to find out, guess what? Implementation had not, man, just hadn't gotten around to it. Well, guess what? You're never going to, based off precedent, based off what we've seen. And so we used to give our templates away, but Dan Miller, we quote him as saying, if you're not paying attention. So we're going to make you pay with something far more expensive than money. We're going to make you pay with attention and implementation. We're going to make you pay with your time. We want you to have this template, and we want to follow up with you to see if you've actually done the work. There's a powerful way to get this template. You can get on a 15 to 30-minute Zoom call, no strings attached, with one of our professional coaches. They will walk you through the vision template. They will answer any questions you have about anything business, and they'll get you set up with the template. And two things will happen. One, they'll send you on your way, and they will send 2 follow-up texts to see your progress. Or they will tell you how you can become a client of BOP, just like Jason, who I referenced in the story earlier. It's your choice. There are no strings attached. So Jesse is going to put in the chat this form. Fill this form out, take you 2 minutes, and one of our coaches will follow up with you this afternoon or Monday, because I've got a lot of coaches on vacation right now, to coordinate a spot. And you can spend 15, 20 minutes working through your vision, having them review it, ask them about financials. So, hey, I'm going to remain on the line. If anybody has any questions, you can come off mute and ask me, but put a time on your schedule. Let me coach you a little bit. Put a time on your schedule that you'll have your vision completed by and implemented when you start, and when you're going to start actually implementing. Put it on your calendar, set a date, bring this clarity to your business, to your people, and you will start to see change. So Jesse's got that in the chat link. If you want to come off mute and ask any questions, I'm here. May ask Jesse to answer a few questions. I don't know that she will, but what do you got? Anybody? Ivan, way over from Germany. Welcome, brother.
Hi.
Any questions about vision?
The vision itself, it's very good.
So have you worked through yours yet?
What do you mean?
Have you done the vision template yet, Ivan, with your coach?
We have done a vision. It is, we just filled the form of Google form you just mentioned before.
Yeah.
For the next year. Yeah, we can call it vision. This is the question I have to answer for myself first. What vision do I have? You know, this is the goal we have set for the next year. They are good, but I think the vision is much more it's much bigger than the goals for next year. It's for my opinion.
Yeah. Vision. So Yeah, if I'm tracking, you've got a date of a year out. So you've established your date, but there's a vision even bigger beyond that date that you've set, which is totally fine. For BOP, we had this past year, we had a 1 year vision. Well, our owner and founder just rolled out our new vision at our annual team overnight in Greenville 2 weeks ago, and it was a 3 year vision. And so they will change. This will be one of many vision stories that you articulate and implement as you move forward in life and work. Any other questions out there? Hey, Eddie, I see that you're on the call. Glad that you're on. I'm kind of going through the folks to see if Jim Ripper, you are consistent, brother. Good to see you on the call. Any questions while you've got a coach here? Pick my brain. All right. Well,
Brent, I have something just from thinking about what we hear often is, okay, great. I've written all of this stuff down.
hey, who do we have here? Who is this on
Oh,
the
it's Jesse.
I'm just kidding. Hey, Jesse, it's our director of client connection. She is the glue that holds us all together. She is our steady. Go ahead, Jesse.
It's actually similar to what I just put in there is we see a lot of, hey, I've written this out. I'm either not making progress on it or I don't see the point. Vision, like it's just manifestation and all of this stuff. And you mentioned implementation of it, but what does that actually look like? So if we have products that we currently have and products we want to bring to the table to our clients in the next year, how do I, as an owner, write that down, but bring the team along with me to actually get any of that done?
Yeah. And so I'm going to ask you to speak to that because, Jesse has been with BOP since the conception. What have you seen, Scott? Because we drink our own Kool-Aid, y'all. We write these out, we live them, we implement them. What are some of the best practices that we've even gotten better at over the years that allow us to run towards the vision where it's just not theory and ethereal and frou-frou? So what would you tell the folks here today?
I think one of the biggest things that our owner started doing was having more frequent vision days where, if I'm being honest, I thought it was a little much at first because it was every quarter. And then we changed it to every 2 months. And I was like, we don't need to reread this every 2 months. That's too much. But the more we did it, the more I realized the longer we went without actually setting eyes on this, without reading through it, the more I forgot what we were working towards.
Sure.
Because this isn't a daily to-do list. The owners, key leaders, the team, we have things that need to get done each day. The vision is not in the forefront of our minds. And so as the visionary, as the leader of BOP, bringing that to the team every 2 or 3 months was huge. And I think part of that, so in addition to that, vision days were huge. It may seem like just another meeting, but it really helped us make sure we were in line on what we were moving forward together in. I think the other biggest thing would probably be the 12-week plans, because we can have these big lofty goals. We can have 3 years out where this is where we're going to be with our vision. But again, how do we get there? How do we implement things? What needs to happen first? And then second, and then third, and then fourth over the next 3 years to actually get us there. Those 12-week plans broke it up really well in quarters, where again, you kind of think, well, this is too long. 3 months is such a long time. You start on that 12-week plan and you end and you're like, I have not had time to finish anything. It's gone.
Yeah.
But
that is great. That's a great point.
It's helped us out a lot. So vision days and 12-week plans.
Yeah. And when she says vision days, don't be paralyzed by that. It's an hour most.
Yeah.
And what we have even grown into is at the vision hour, our owner and founder will green, yellow, and red in relation to, hey, what are we crushing right now in relation to our vision and what we said we wanted? What are green? And he lists those things. What are yellow? Things that are not rocking, but they're not, in need of resuscitating. They're just, we need to be mindful of them. Those are yellow. So these things are yellow in relation to our vision. And then what are those things that are red? what's on life support. And that's brought a lot of clarity where then we can go, all right, we're rolling into Q3. If you do a typical fiscal year, what are, for each key member of the team, what are your 3 goals? Because you've heard with clarity where we are, green, yellow, red, in relation to our vision. Now let's get very strategic on what goals are going to move us towards the vision. So, and then Eddie had a great quote. Eddie coaches with us, not a question, but a comment. He said, I've had great clarity since writing this out, and he's seen his actions change coupled with this template and his daily schedule. So there's alignment with the activities that he's doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis that's now in alignment with what he said he wanted. And we're not getting distracted and pulled by everything else there chirping in our ears. No, we're like, no, we know what we want, and it's going to take X, Y, and Z to get us there. So
yeah, I think and Eddie, that's incredible. 80% off the job site. It's impressive. I think part of that piece too is, I think so often we have so much going on in our brains. We have so much going on in the world, in our families, in our communities, that Brent mentioned this earlier in the call of write it down so that others that read it may run. Where there is no vision, there is chaos. It's almost as though we have so much in our heads that sometimes we don't even know where we need to go. How are we supposed to expect others to know what's in our heads? My husband and I do this frequently where it's, well, this is what I was thinking. Well, this is what I was thinking. Well, we're not on the same page. I thought we were saving money to pay off the house. Well, I thought we were saving money for vacation. That's where we say, okay, we're sitting down, we're writing this out. These are the vacations we want to go on. This is what we want to pay down this year. If we don't take the time to sit down and get that all out of our heads, we are not on the same page, and we live together. We're married. So people on your team do not have the same brain that you do. If you've taken disc profiles, you know that we don't think the same. We don't communicate the same. And so you writing, this is one of my favorite stories of BOP. You writing the vision down is, and can be polarizing to where you share this with the team. And we've had an owner come to us and say, hey, I shared it with the team yesterday and 2 of my people left. And we were like, what do you mean? That's like, we're so sorry. And he's like, no, those were the people that didn't get it. They were holding us back. They were holding the team back. And once we shared the vision of where this is going and the team that we're wanting to be able to do that, they were like, yeah, I'm out. And so it not only gets this stuff out of your head and creates some mental space for you, like Eddie was saying, it just, your actions change, the actions of your team change, your schedule changes to where if this isn't actively working towards what I've said I wanted, then let's do something different. And that's a huge part of being able to write this out and share it with people and sharing it frequently.
Yeah, that's a good word. Anybody else got any thoughts, comments? Going once. Don't be shy. Going twice. All right. Well, hey, it's Friday, heading into the weekend. Again, as a coach, I would say set a date, right? Set a date that you're going to have your vision written out. All right. Who needs to be a part of that vision story? Thanks for putting that in the chat, kind of what you need to get started. Set a date. If you filled out the form, you will be contacted by a coach to set up a Zoom call. One of us will hop on there with you, and then we'll follow up with 2 texts, see how you're doing. And if you've got questions about those 12-week plans and what those look like, what those templates look like, you can ask the coach. Put it on the calendar. If you do nothing else, put a date on the calendar to start this. Yes, once I put date nights on the calendar with my wife, guess what? We started doing them. Simple changes. So, hey, appreciate y'all being with us on a Friday. We're going to let y'all go and look forward to connecting with y'all that signed up. So have a great weekend. Thanks, Jesse. See you again.